If you have played games or watched movies based on Journey to the West, you will undoubtedly recognize these 4 giant deities standing before tens of thousands of celestial soldiers. The image of Sun Wukong causing havoc in the heavenly palace, confronting 4 gods of majestic and formidable appearance with fierce countenances, their bodies like towering mountains and strange Dharma treasures in their hands, is iconic. Have you ever wondered about the true identities and origins behind their imposing presence and powerful artifacts? Who are they? Let's explore this with Sinosphere Novels. In the vibrant and mystical worldview of Northern Buddhism, Mahayana, if the journey of cultivation is likened to entering a fortified citadel of the mind, then the 4 heavenly kings are the most majestic generals guarding the 4 gates. Far more than just the armored statues commonly seen flanking temple entrances, the 4 heavenly kings represent a system of cosmic power, an intersection between the strength to subjugate darkness and the compassion to protect the true Dharma. Their origins are deeply rooted in ancient Indian mythology, where they were known as the Lokapala, the guardians of the directions. As Buddhism flourished, they were adopted as potent Dharmapalas, vowing to protect all sentient beings and preserve the teachings of the world-honored one, the Buddha. According to the scriptures, their abode is not of the mortal realm, yet not quite the distant realm of nirvana. They rule in the first heaven of the desire realm, Kamadhatu, known as the heaven of the 4 heavenly kings, located halfway up Mount Sumeru, the axis of the universe. From this height, they have a panoramic view of the 4 quarters of the world. They are entrusted with governing the east, west, south, and north, each commanding a celestial direction, fighting against evil, and protecting the places where the Buddha's teachings are spread. The Northern Heavenly King. First is the Northern Heavenly King, also known as Vaishravana or Duo Wen Tian Wang. He is the leader of the 4 important deities known as the 4 Great Heavenly Kings. He is the god who guards the north, observes the world, and protects the people. His residence is the 4th level in the northern celestial region of Mount Sumeru. This land is called crystal because the ground there is as transparent as crystal glass. Within this land are 3 cities. The first is named Formidable, the second Celestial Mirror, and the third Mass Assemblage. The heavenly king of this land is named Duowen, and he commands 2 classes of spirits, the Yakshas and the Rakshasas. He is a master of the Buddha's teachings. His appearance is depicted with a green body, carrying an umbrella symbolizing his power and the protection he offers to sentient beings. Occasionally, he is depicted with a mongoose spitting out jewels, as he is considered the guardian of worldly wealth and the subduer of demons. The mongoose is also the natural enemy of the snake, which symbolizes greed, envy, and hatred. He is also regarded as one of the 28 Devas, a group of Buddhist Dharmapalas who manifest to protect the Dharma. In Chinese Buddhist iconography, he holds a pagoda in his right hand and a trident in his left hand. In Chinese temples, he is often enshrined within the Hall of the Heavenly Kings with the other 3 heavenly kings. His name, Duo Wen Tian Wang, lit. Listening to many teachings, is a reference to the belief that he guards the place where the Buddha teaches. In Taoist belief, he is conflated with the god Li Jing, whose iconography incorporates many of Vaishravana's characteristics, such as carrying a pagoda that can capture any spirit, demon, or god within its walls. In Investiture of the Gods, his mortal identity is Mo Li Hong. Following the Shang dynasty under Huang Feihu alongside his brothers, Mo Li Hong is the second of the 4 generals. He possesses one of the most bizarre and terrifying treasures, the Umbrella of Chaos. This parasol is adorned with rare pearls and has the power to shroud the entire sky, plunging all things into total darkness. When Mo Li Hong opens and spins the umbrella, heaven and earth are upended, and it can suck in both the weapons and the souls of his enemies. After falling in battle against the Western Qi forces, he was canonized as the Northern Heavenly King. The Southern Heavenly King. He is the second of the 4 heavenly kings. In Indian religion, this deity is named Virudaka, guarding the southern direction of the first heaven in the desire realm. His mission is to foster the roots of goodness within sentient beings and to protect the Dharma. When Buddhism was introduced to China, his name was translated according to its meaning as Zhengjiang Tianwang, the increasing or growth heavenly king, signifying the deity who causes the world to grow and prosper. He resides on the lapis lazuli slope of Mount Sumeru. He is depicted with a pure blue body, holding a razor-sharp Baojian, precious sword, to cut through all afflictions and wrong views, allowing the roots of goodness in sentient beings to flourish. He protects the Buddha's teachings and guards the southern continent of Jambudvapa. He is the 5th among the 28 mansions Devas. In the novel Investiture of the Gods, the southern heavenly king's mortal origin is described as Mo Lixing, the eldest of the 4 generals of the Mo family. Standing 2 zhang and 4 qi tall, approximately 7 to 8 meters, with a face like a snapping turtle and a bright red beard, he led the Mo brothers in service of the Shang dynasty under Huang Feihu. Later, by order of King Zhou, he led troops against the Western Qiaf King Wu. Mo Lixing typically used a long spear and did not ride a horse. He carried a mystical treasure known as the Blue Cloud Sword, Qingyun Jian. This sword was inscribed with charms and the 4 characters for earth, water, fire, and wind. When pointed and activated with a mantra, fire and wind would rise simultaneously to devastate enemy armies. Mo Lixing was the first of the brothers to fall in battle and was later canonized as the Southern Heavenly King guarding the Heavenly Gate. The Eastern Heavenly King. Known as Dhritarashtra in Hinduism, he is the 3rd of the 4 heavenly kings. He guards the eastern direction of the first heaven in the desire realm, tasked with protecting all sentient beings and upholding the sovereignty of the land. In Chinese mythology, his name was translated as Qi Guo Tian Wang, meaning the heavenly king who upholds the state. He resides on the golden slope of Mount Sumeru, clad in full armor and holding a pipa, the Chinese lute. He protects the Dharma and guards the eastern continent of Purva Videha. He is the 4th among the 28 mansions Devas. His most recognizable Dharma instrument is the pipa, and he is often depicted with snow-white skin. The music from his lute is not merely entertainment. It is the manifestation of the middle way, a reminder that for all things in life to remain peaceful, one must maintain balance, being neither too tight nor too loose, like the strings of a lute. In Investiture of the Gods, he is known as Mo Lihai, the 3rd of the Mo brothers. He brings a distinct but no less devastating combat style with his jasper pipa. Eschewing blades, this general subdues his enemies through sound. When Mo Lihai's fingers glide across the strings, sound waves carrying the power of fire and water are emitted, directly attacking the 5 senses and the minds of enemy soldiers. In large-scale battles, his music acted like invisible waves sweeping across the battlefield. After falling in battle, he was canonized as the Eastern Heavenly King, overseeing the eastern quarters. The Western Heavenly King. In Indian religion, this deity is named Virupaksa. He guards the western direction of the first heaven in the desire realm, tasked with punishing evil and protecting the Dharma and the Bodhimanda, places of enlightenment. When Buddhism reached China, the name of this deity is translated literally as Guang Mu Tian Wang, meaning the heavenly king who watches over the world. Guangmu Tianwang is described as having wide eyes to observe the world and protect its people. He resides on the Silver Mountain on the western slopes of Mount Sumeru. Clad in full armor, he is the sovereign ruler of the Naga dragon race. As such, he is depicted holding a red dragon, or a red cord, in his hand. If he encounters someone with a sincere faith in Buddha, He binds them with the cord to lead them toward refuge and conversion. He serves as the guardian of the Western continent, Aparagodanya, Taingu Hachao, and is the 16th among the 28 mansions devas. He is often portrayed with a face as red as a gak fruit, a long beard, and a stern, solemn expression. In Investiture of the Gods, his mortal identity is Molishu. He possesses a somewhat more tranquil appearance, but carries a hidden terror within a leather bag. The spiritual beast, the purple-gold floral fox ferrets. This creature is normally as small as a mouse, but when released, it transforms into a massive, incredibly ferocious beast with wings to fly through the air. Molishu's fox once swallowed many generals and caused heavy losses to the opposing side. Although the four brothers ultimately fell in battle at the hands of Huang Tianhua and the magical artifacts of the Chan sect, their loyalty and strength left a deep impression. Consequently, they were canonized as the four great heavenly kings, responsible for overseeing favorable weather, harmonious rain and wind for the mortal world. In Journey to the West. In Journey to the West, the appearance of the four heavenly kings takes on a more majestic and official tone compared to their time as Shang generals. No longer lone combatants, they serve as the supreme gatekeepers of the celestial court, guarding the southern heavenly gate. Whenever Sun Wukong causes havoc in the heavenly palace, or when immortals pass through the gates, the first sight to meet their eyes is the towering presence of these four kings. Amidst the five-colored mists and the radiant glow of the celestial palaces, their four guardian bodies appear like four mountains separating the mortal and immortal realms. The clash between the four heavenly kings and Sun Wukong during the havoc in heaven is one of the most spectacular displays of power. When the reckless stone monkey charged toward the gates with his golden stick, the four kings formed a formation to surround him, creating a rhythmic harmony of martial arts and dharma treasures. The southern king swung his precious sword, unleashing swirling torrents of black wind and golden fire. However, these could not harm Sun Wukong, whose body had been forged into bronze and iron within Taishang Laojun's 8 trigrams furnace. Wukong plucked a handful of fur and transformed it into thousands of clones to confuse Zhengzhang Tianwang. The Western king, seeing his brother struggling, he unfurled the umbrella of chaos to suck Wukong inside. Using his 72 transformations, the great sage shrunk his body, slipped past the umbrella's light in a flash, and extended his cudgel to its maximum length to puncture and force the umbrella shut, stripping Western king of his defense. The Eastern king, from a distance, he played his pipa, emitting strange, dissonant sounds that caused Wukong's limbs to go limp. Once Wukong regained his composure, however, he flew forward with lightning speed, snatched the lute from the king's hands, and used the instrument to counterattack. The northern king, seeing his three brothers falter, he released his treasure, the purple-gold fox ferret, to swallow Wukong whole. Wukong didn't dodge. He intentionally let the beast swallow him. Once inside, the Monkey King reverted to his true form and began to wreak havoc on the creature's internal organs, causing it such agony that it wished for death. Conclusion. As we conclude our journey exploring the four heavenly kings, we realize that these guardian deities do not merely exist as moss-covered statues or characters within the pages of fantasy mythology. Behind the radiant golden armor and powerful dharma treasures, the imagery of the four great heavenly kings offers profound lessons on the spiritual cultivation of every individual. The four heavenly kings guard the four gates of the celestial citadel, but in truth, they watch over the entryway of our own consciousness. We hope that through these insights, whenever you step into a temple or happen upon them in ancient tales, you will see more than just distant war gods. Instead, you will see a reminder of discipline, courage, and the faith in a life of favorable weather, refers not only to the harmony of the natural world, but to the tranquility within our own hearts. Thank you for joining Sinosphere Novels on this quest to rediscover the fragments of East Asian mythology. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so we can continue to turn the pages of other mystical epics together. Goodbye, and see you next time.